guys, we're going to talk a little bit about how we introduced operations in the classroom, and I'm going to start with addition. And I just want to say that it's always an invitation when we start something awesome and new like this. And so I will come to our little people with a bunch of excitement and say, can I show you something? And oh, would you like to come and see? Come on over. We're going to do a story. And so all the operations in the 3 to 6 classroom, addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division are introduced with a story. And many times we stay in story for a long time. Let me peek in and say hi. Hi. Okay, so hopefully you can see this tray that I put together with things from home. I've got these stones that keep showing up. It's really great if you're setting up intro to an operation like this that use the same of all one type of object. So rather than using a bunch of different colored Legos, if I had all red Legos, or all marbles instead of marbles and Legos, or all buttons. And as similar as you can make the objects, the better, because then the children won't get hung up on sort of sorting, that kind of thing. I have a pencil. I've also quick drawn. We have these a little bit nicer in the classroom, just the symbols that we're going to use, and I have some cut pieces of small paper that are blank right now, and we're going to add to them. Let me see if I can take the light down a little bit, and we'll get a little less glare. That's a little bit more natural. Okay, so obviously I'd be doing this at a rug and it'd be a little different, but for home use, any way that you get them excited about the ways that numbers are put together and taken apart is really exciting, and we're going to give them some ways to do that. So I'm going to talk to you like you're my little person and I've invited you over. So I'm going to say, we'll call you Ethan because I know that guy. Say, Ethan, I want to show you some put-togethers. And many of your children are familiar and they might stop you there. But let's pretend that for Ethan, this is the first time he's seen it. And he says, okay. And I said, let me tell you a story. One time, Ethan and I went to the beach and we started to notice that there were stones in the sand, smooth, beautiful stones. And we thought, oh, I wonder how many we can collect. So I took a pail and you took a pail, Ethan, and you went down one side of the beach and I went down on the other side of the beach. And let me see, that you collected this many. And I'll lay those out. Let me move this a little bit, my setup, so you can see. And I collected a few too. I collected this many. And by now, they're all in. They're very excited. The more detail you add to the story, the better. This is about telling stories with math. And so I will say, hey, Ethan, how many did you collect? And I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. And I'll say, oh, let's write that down. So I would write the number in front of the child. And that is important because they can see that number formation. Sorry, it's probably backwards on yours. We would put that under Ethan's stones. And I'll say, let me see how many I have. 1, 2, 3. Oh, let's write down the number 3. I know how to write a 3. We've been practicing this. 3. There it is. So I collected 3 stones and you collected 4 stones. And I wonder how many stones we would have if we put them all together. Do you want to do that? Let's put them all together. Let me show you something we can use for that. And I would show them the symbol and I would say, this means put together. And they might say to you at this point, oh, I know that's addition, that's fine. And so we would put that in the center. And I'd say, let me show you another symbol we can use. And this means is the same as. We also call this equals. So I wonder if we put together my 3 stones and your 4 stones, how many we'll have all together. And so then you'll just simply move your manipulatives all the way over. I might be moving out of the screen for you guys, but it's important whatever you're using to keep it in a nice line. You want to get them in a habit of not trying to count in a cluster, but trying to count in a line. It's going to be more accurate for them. It is off your screen. Sorry, I'm going to slide this whole presentation down a little bit. Thank you for waiting. There we go. Okay. You can see a little bit of it. And then we'll count slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll write that down. Let's draw that 7. You remember how to draw a 7, Ethan? We went across and we slide down. Yeah, you've gotten really good at that. Okay. We can read this just like we read stories and sentences. This is a number story and we read it left to right, the same as we read a sentence. So let's do that together. And you have them go really slowly and have them read it with you. 3 put together with 4 equals 7. 3 plus 4 is 7. Now, if you want to keep kind of a written log in the classroom, we would sometimes record, especially with a 5, 6-year-old or older 4, we would record this in their composition book. You don't have to. This is really the first presentation that's about stories. I would typically tell 2 or 3 more, and a lot of time in the classroom, others will join us, and I will involve them too. And then I will ask the child if they want to make their own number stories. You can keep these numbers that are written on, put them back in here because you can reuse those. Of course, you're going to keep your symbols that you do. I happen to do them on red because addition's always red in the classroom, but they don't have to be. And you'll put this back together. And then, once you have this in wherever you're keeping work in your I almost said classroom, but yes, in your home, they can get this out and they could tell the number story to the other parent in the house or to whoever else is a caregiver or to a little brother or older person, whoever is there, they can tell number stories too. They can make up their own. You just want to emphasize that you're doing putting together. And we're going to call it put together in the beginning a lot, and eventually they'll start calling it addition. There you go. That's an introduction to addition. It's really fun. I love doing intro lessons. Let's work with that for a while, and let's keep practicing numeral recognition and accurate counting and number writing. And we'll give you some more ideas on that later in the week. Thanks, guys.